So today we saw Bitcoin lingering around the 50,000 mark, and it broke its 50,000, so it's actually gone over, but it's just been kind of lingering. If you look on the half an hour crypto chart, we can see it's just been hovering around 48,000, but we still got this support line that it hasn't broken yet. And on the weekly view, we can also see that it's holding strong on here, but we could still see it dip. So we still got to be careful. We got to look for both scenarios in this. You got to be careful when you're trading. We always look for both scenarios. We always look for the downside and we look for the upside. Litecoin here still riding on this support line, so we will see if this is gonna keep going up like this, or is it going to dump onto this support line? Again, checking each scenario, work around what you're going to do. If you're using leverage, be careful. Always be careful with leverage. Never go too high. I never go over 5% leverage personally, because it's crazy how this market can go. We could see this down here on this support line tomorrow. You just don't know. It could be up here. You have no idea with crypto. Over to CoinMarketCap, we can see that Bitcoin's broken its 50,000 milestone. If you haven't heard of that already, it's all over the news. Everyone's talking about it. So everyone's speculating at the moment, are we going to get a alt season now? Are all these altcoins going to blast off? Because what normally happens with Bitcoin is when it gets to a stable level, people take their profits and they'll put them into these altcoins, and that's when we see this price jump. People taking profits out of Bitcoin and dumping it into all these altcoins. So down at the moment today, but I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow these will be straight rocketing back up. Looking at the 4-hour chart on Polkadot, which is now number 4 ranked on CoinMarketCap, we can see it pumped a little bit since they released their 2021 roadmap. So I'm expecting it to bounce around in these ranges. It still could test this support line though, so be careful. Lots of FOMO going in up here. I personally haven't bought up here. Lots of hype, lots of euphoria going into that. I would wait till it balances down a bit. We could reasonably see it coming down to down to here, down to these levels, and then do a bit of this action, maybe breakout. You never know. In other news, Hashdex launches its first crypto ETF, Brazilian asset manager Hashdex. So on the Bermuda Stock Exchange, BSX, you can buy this ETF, which is very exciting, and we're only going to see more of this. More institutional investors are going to jump on this, and it's just going to keep growing. Just another example of why crypto's the future. CNBC released an article on Tuesday, and large firms like Tesla, as you know, Elon Musk supports Bitcoin, as you've seen if you follow him on Twitter, and the Dogecoin shenanigans that he's done. But many crypto investors believe that the current bull run is different to the 2017 bubble. And if you weren't around then, this is the 2017 price here. So 2017, everyone was buying in, and look, we fell and we plateaued for a few years. And if you look at where we are now, so basically double, and many people think this is gonna keep going up, but it could easily also blow off the top. So you got to make your choice. What do you think is going to happen here? There's a lot of speculation going on at the moment. We still have this support line here on the daily chart. We could easily come back to 36,000 or so, personally speaking, that's probably the best thing that could happen for Bitcoin now, so we could get some consolidation and actually get some groundwork, get some support, because Elon bought at an average of 30,000, which is just there. So that's a very big foundation for Bitcoin. Lots of people want to buy it at 30,000, so you got to think of that. There's a big support there, as well as 40,000 right here. There's a lot of support there as well. You really have to weigh out what's going to happen this time. You got to put the pros and cons together. Last time in 2017, it was just retail investors just rushing in. This time around, we have got those institutional investors. We've got the coronavirus. We've got all this inflation that's happening, low interest rates. You got to think about the financial space as a whole, because Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies is slotting into the traditional financial space. So this time around could be different. We could see it just keep steadily growing with little accumulation phases. PayPal, Visa, Robinhood, all these big platforms, and also in the crypto space, Binance, FTX, all these platforms are available now, which we didn't have access to in the last bull run. We're going to just get more and more on-ramps available to us to select from. At the moment, there is a bit of a monopoly with crypto exchanges. Binance, the biggest at the moment, and their customer support is kind of lacking at the moment because they have grown so much in a matter of months, which you can't blame them. They have to handle financial data, so it's hard to just employ anyone. You got to do background checks and all that sort of thing. I haven't had a problem with Binance myself personally. Link in the description to sign up, as well as FTX. But you find your own exchange. We're going to have hiccups along the way. It's just how the crypto game works. It's not going to be smooth. This is a new space.